morning. Welcome back. All right. What's going on, guys? Morning. Margin, Brian, John, Angel, Ponzi, Hamster, Andrew, Michael, Steven. Way deep inside. What's going on, Chef? DP. Morning, Amped. We still love you. I appreciate that, Hamster. Low volume. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think next year, I think it's worth just taking the entire, basically from Christmas on, just enjoy it. Enjoy the time, man. There's been some nice individual stock moves. That's for sure. Like yesterday, some good moves. AMD was nice. Coinbase again was nice. But overall, that overall market action has been, that has been treacherous. So definitely tough for futures trading. I would say that. The last, pretty much since Christmas, futures trading has been very, very choppy. But yeah, that volume has really been dead. That's for sure. From Amsterdam, what's up, man? Morning, guys. Just get drunk from Christmas until January. Yeah, I don't. It might be it, Amsterdam. That might be the move, man. That might be the move. The Jets are not good. Who won? I'm assuming when I got off of it, Cleveland was winning. Did Cleveland win? Okay, yeah. 37-20. Yeah, the Jets probably shouldn't have got rid of Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's in the zone. Alrighty. Wait a few more minutes for some more people to step in. Last stream of the year. Last stream of 2023. What a year it has been. And again, thank you guys for all the support. Been a very successful 2023. Streaming, trading, just growing a community. Been very, very thankful for that. Do I use interactive brokers to take trades? Yes. Yes, Sammy, I do. Larry, it's in the description of this video is an email that you can shoot a message to if you'd like. I've learned more from you. I appreciate that deep inside. I don't know if I like to say your name, but respect what the market is telling you. Ignore your bias. Absolutely. All right. Let's do it. Welcome back. Press that like button if you could. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the last stream of 2023. I don't have high expectations for today. I'm going to take it real easy. I'm going to monitor that Tesla trade. I'm going to monitor, I made a video about it yesterday. Make sure to go check that out. Bought some dips on Tesla that did not hold, right? That's pretty much the moral of the story. Hey man, it's trading, right? It's going to happen. All that matters is risk management, right? Portfolio management, everything management. Management when you're wrong, managing it correctly so that it's just another little loss in the account. So that's pretty much my situation right now, stepping into today. Had an incorrect trade. Had some good trades yesterday, but nothing that really moved the needle. Tesla bought some dips after that nice upside move on Wednesday, and it pretty much just tanked on me. So down on it now. That's pretty much what I'll be doing majority of the day. Is just monitoring Tesla, seeing if I should get out of this position, if I should hold it into next week. That's going to be my main watch. But seeing the price action both yesterday, both Wednesday, I'm expecting more of the same today. I'm not going to think that, today's the last day, there's going to be some huge move. I'm going to go into the day expecting the same sort of choppy price action on the futures, which typically will lead to slower movement, slower continuation on the entire market on individual stocks. So that's my feeling coming into today. I think that's probably the thing to keep you safe today, is to come in with that thought. If we do see something change, something drastically move, right, then we'll take advantage of it. Chef, 16 months, wouldn't want to start morning any other way. Good trades, bad trades, we get it back. I appreciate that, Chef. Yeah, man, it's all part of the journey, right? It's what makes it fun, right? How do you learn from the losses? How do you come back from them? How do you improve from them, right? That's trading. That is what we are here doing, right? So it's going to happen, and it's how we come back from it. How far you're next week's. Got next week's on Tesla. All right, so that's my sort of feeling coming into today. I'm not that excited. I'm not that excited for today's price action, but we're here. We're here to prepare. We're here to look at it. We're here to watch and here to learn for another day of price action. We'll see what happens. Economic calendar for today. I don't think we haven't. Do we have anything big? I don't remember seeing anything. Chicago PMI. That's probably about it. So you guys can see right here. Chicago PMI is our only economic event of the day at 9:45. So 15 minutes after open, we will get that Chicago PMI. All right. So that's really it there. Next week, you do have some stuff coming out, right? You can see, obviously, Monday the market is closed. So enjoy your 3-day weekend, my friends. Monday, market closed. We will not be here. You guys can see Tuesday, manufacturing PMI, construction spending. And then Wednesday, it heats up a little bit. ISM manufacturing, JOLTS, you can see right there. FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And then Thursday, non-farm unemployment claims, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, ISM services PMI. So next week, it gets a little bit heated around that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Got a few unemployment, some jobs data, heading into next week. So just be aware of that. But we'll be here. We'll prepare for it as it comes in live. But today, nothing. And let me just double check. I don't think we have any treasury bond auctions. Let me just make sure of that. I don't believe we have any bond auctions today. I'll just ensure before I say that with confidence. Today is the 29th. No, nothing. We got nothing today on the bond auctions. So yesterday was the last day. Our next major bond auction comes out here around January 9th, January 10th, January 11th. 3-year, 10-year, 30-year is the next one to be paying attention to. All right. How much on the average do you use to trade per day? It depends on if I like something, man. Every day's different. Bond market is closed today. Possibly, yes. I believe it is closed. Yeah, it closes early today. That's correct. And then we are closed on Monday. All right. So really nothing today to really be too worried about on the economic side. We'll review everything into next week as we start to get into 2024. All right. Let's go into the NASDAQ. Let's go into the charts. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday. Let me adjust this because this is incorrect. Where the hell am I? There I am. I need to save this. There we go. All right. Okay. So, NASDAQ. What happened yesterday? Pretty much nothing overall. You got just sort of this slow downtrending move pretty much the entire day. Pretty much chop all day until a little bit of a slip around 3 o'clock with some strength, but really nothing. So yesterday, in my opinion, was just a waste of a day, pretty much similar to the day that happened on Wednesday. The only key thing that I could see here that is important to me is, as of now, right, as of now, is the maintain above this zone right here. I think that's really the only major key takeaway, is that we maintained above that 17,065, 17,045 demand. A break under this level at some point in the future is what sort of moves us lower, right? That's in my opinion. A break under this zone right here would be the move that starts to set up maybe some downside action, right? And so until that happens, I am going to stay looking for that demand to hold, right? You can see we held that demand on Wednesday. You can see that yesterday we maintained that demand again. And today we'll have to see, right? Does the NASDAQ futures maintain above that demand again? That's really the main watch, right? Because all this sort of back and forth in this area is just sort of pointless. It's not really breaking anything, right? We didn't really break anything yesterday. No major levels were broken. We just sort of consolidated, in my eyes, right above this demand. That's all we pretty much did. So today, I'll be watching to see, do we maintain above this demand again? That's 17,065 to 17,045. This high, this high, this high, this low. All right, this whole zone is sort of that area that I continue to watch. All right, so that's what I'm watching today. If I go down to the 15-minute, we can see this on a little bit of a shorter term time frame. Here was Wednesday, right? Here was yesterday. Just general slow downside yesterday, but we continue to stay above that demand right there. So today I'm watching to see, right, does this maintain again for maybe a pushback into the supply around that 17,130, or is there a little end of 2023 slip that starts to turn? The key would be, right, to get any type of real downside continuation, the key would be to turn Wednesday's lows into rejections, right? If we start to see Wednesday's lows turn into rejections, that could be where this market starts to slip a little bit, the NASDAQ market. So in my opinion, all eyes on Wednesday's lows. I think that Wednesday low right here is going to be very crucial to be paying attention to, around 17,065. All right? That's my read on the NASDAQ. Be careful as you start to trade into this level, though. You guys have seen this a lot the last few days on the futures. There is a lot of fake outs, right? These candles have not been... Yeah, I'll increase the font for you. These candles have been tough. They have been tough. They have been sort of messy. Let me see if this messes anything up. Yes, it does. Of course it does. Hold on. There we go. The candles overall have been very messy and a lot of volatile, sort of chop. So you can see any type of extension, right, gets sort of bought up, extension, and then it just big drop, bought up, right? So be careful of that. What you could see is a lot of this, right? A lot of this today. This is what happened on Wednesday. You have a lot of these wicks that step up at this demand. And just be careful getting aggressive on the short side and potentially getting stuck in some kind of wick back to the upside. That's on both sides, right? You can see this wick here, the wicks up at the supply, wicks up at the supply, right? Wicks at the demand, right? So just understand that you could see some of that again today, right? If you start to trade, right? If you start to trade back into this area, you could start to see those wicks again. You could start to see those attempts lower that sort of get bought up. Same thing to the upside. If you get a big push today, you can see those attempts higher and those wicks at that supply, because overall the market wants to remain relatively sideways. There's just not enough volume to get through these major levels. You need major volume, major momentum to get through these supply highs and these demand lows. If it's a slow volume day, it's going to be tough to get a market to really continue through these levels. And it's just going to give you some fake outs at those demands. So Just be aware of that. All right, QQQ. A pretty important rejection on the QQQ today, actually. You guys can see right here, this 412.25. This is a previous day rejection point, and it's rejecting in the pre-market here again today. So this is, I wouldn't say it's weak, but it's definitely a important rejection there, right? You can see that rejection, this rejection is pretty important. That's around 412.25 on the QQQ. So I would be aware of that, right? This is actually something to sort of pay attention to. That rejection right there on the Qs is something that could lead to something, right? You can see it's a lower high, and it's rejecting again in this pre-market. 412.25, very important. QQQ is breaking that 411 here as we speak. And so if we do stay under that 411 there, again, I'm going to bring it back to that demand low, right, that we held on Wednesday. I think it's right around that 410, right? Wednesday, we held that 410, 410, 410. That is equal, that 410 is equal to this low on the NASDAQ futures, which we are sort of testing right now. That NASDAQ futures 1765, 1745. Really, 410 is the 45, right? This right here, this 1745 is 410. 410 is right here on the QQQ. 17,045, you can see it's that previous high right there. You can see it's this consolidation right here. And if we go to 410 on the QQQ, right, we can see it's the same area. So that's the big one, right? 410 Qs is that demand low. That would be sort of that flip in momentum for me to potentially start looking for downside. That equals the 1745 on the QQQ. This is 410 right there. Okay? 4010, big level. ES. So the ES pretty much all day just stayed sideways. What a heartbeat, right? That the heart, whatever that the heart monitoring system is. You guys probably know that word. I don't know why I can't think of it, but what's it called? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Heartbeat system. I'm gonna do it before you guys look at it. What's it called? It's vitals? No, it's not vitals. Is it vitals? It's not your vital sign, is it? EKG. There it is. It's an EKG. Thanks, Sniper Trades. Yep, this is an EKG yesterday. That's the EKG trade, and this is an EKG trade on Wednesday as well. So really interesting, right, to see that type of action on this move higher. It's been a very clean stair-stepping move higher, but the intraday trades have been just disgusting, to be quite honest. Like Tuesday was nice, and pretty much every day before Wednesday was decent. But the last 2 days, guys, has been the extreme show of volumeless chop. You guys can see right here, Wednesday and yesterday, just pretty nasty stuff. Pretty nasty stuff. So just be aware of that, right? Be aware of that. If we see that again today, that could be a little bit difficult to trade in. But you can see right now, right? The ES is a little bit weak here, and you are trading into this demand around this 48.30 to 48.28. In my opinion, if you start to see, right, if you start to turn this level into a rejection, you're going to move down into these demand lows around 48.20. So could there be a little bit of downside today from 48.28 to 48.20? Sure, right? That's about 8 points. So just make sure you understand that, right? This is still a very small range on the ES, but there could be some trades here under that 28 into 20 if we start to see weakness, but be careful holding shorts into that 20, right? You can see the demand that stepped in there on Wednesday, so be aware of that. And you can see right now, right? You are still seeing that type of price action at these lows that you need to be aware of, right? If you enter this, let's say you enter this short, a little bit too early, and you sort of front run a short here, right? This thing could sort of just hold this demand and wick right back higher. That's pretty much, anyone that was chasing shorts here, chasing longs here, right, just sort of got crushed. So just make sure you keep that in mind here. That's the type of price action that we've been seeing on this ES. You're in that demand again here right now, right? This 48.28, 48.30 demand. This is important. If this holds again, right, you're probably just going to see more chop today, another EKG trade. If you do turn this into a rejection today, that's where maybe you could get something towards that 20, right? Turning the previous day lows into a rejection point would be the thing that you want to see if you want to get that downside continuation towards that 48.20, all right? 48.40 is very clearly the supply above, by the way. I'm sure you are aware of that, but I'll make sure to draw that out for you. 48.40 is the very clear rejection points above that it doesn't look like the ES would like to break through yet, right? You can see right there, 48.40, 48.40, 48.40, okay? So 48.40, 48.30, 48.20, 10-point ranges on the ES, and it's just been pretty much stuck between that the entire last few days. All right, SPY right here, 15-minute chart, pretty much the same thing, right? Demand lows right around this 476.50. Next demand low down at this 475, and the concept remains the same, right? If you hold above this, EKG trade today, very possible, right? You can see right there. If we are able to get a break and hold below yesterday's lows, then maybe you finally get some kind of a downside move into that 475 demand. That's if you get a solid hold under the previous day lows, right? You need to get a solid hold under this level because this could just sort of wick and fake people out again. It's very possible, okay? So 476.50, right? You can see right here. That's your key demand right there, 476.50. If you hold above it today, probably not much action. Maybe you get something to wake up, but if we just sort of read what's been happening on this market, we could probably expect another trade between pretty much a dollar point range. All right, this is a dollar range on the SPY, 477.60, 476.50. It's about a dollar. It's about a dollar of price action here that you could expect the SPY to just sort of do the same exact thing between today, right? And just another consolidation to sort of end the year. If you break under yesterday's lows, then watch for that continuation. All right? All right. Russell, yeah, just in between the channel. 2060, 2070, 2090 above. You can see in between the channel, right? 2090, 2070, 20-point range on the Russell. You traded all day between it yesterday. You traded between it on Wednesday. You're probably going to see us trade between it again today. So just be aware of that. 2090, 2070, keep an eye on that area on the Russell. Channel trade for now. EKG is a joke on the heartbeat, if you weren't here for it. All right, so that's the futures. By the way, thank you for... Yeah, Coin was so hot yesterday. Nice job, Chef. Coin and AMD were the two trades to take yesterday. Those were probably the best two. Coin, AMD, pullback opportunities, right? And that's sort of... I wanted to get through... That's what we're about to talk about, is how those... What I did yesterday on Tesla, in my opinion, is something that has been working on this market typically. Tesla was just one that didn't work, right? It was just one that didn't work because you had Coinbase pullback longs, you had AMD pullback longs, and those things ripped after those pullbacks. So, yeah, I'm not upset at all about what I did, the strategy that I looked for, because it has been working on the market. But yesterday, it obviously did not work on Tesla. So, here we go. Let's get into some stocks. If you guys could, real quick, press that like button for me. It is the last stream of the year, and every like would be appreciated if you could. If you're enjoying the live streams, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. All right, so here's Tesla. Here is yesterday's downside on Tesla. So let me just move this over. There we go. So pretty much yesterday I came into the day looking for the 260 to hold. and looking for the 258 to hold. You guys saw those levels. Those were very important pullback levels. I was looking for that 260. I was looking for that 258 and just did not get the bounces, right? And so the key of yesterday and actually the really nice short opportunity yesterday was the 260 break and retest, right? This was a beauty. This was a beauty. So you had 260, 260 hold intraday, and then you had a very nice break and retest rejection. So that was very clear. I definitely missed that trade, right? After reviewing this chart, I did miss that trade, and that was probably the best trade of the day on Tesla. It was the break and retest of that 260 demand. That was a level that had to hold. It held intraday right here. This is actually where I added, right, some of my contracts here because I was looking for something that we've seen quite often, something that happened on AMD yesterday, something that happened on Coinbase yesterday, right? We have that pullback into demand, right? And then we have that long off that demand. And that was really the trade that I was looking for. Obviously, that failed. 260, break and retest yesterday. That was a very clean retest rejection of that 260 level. Now, today, I am going to be watching, does Tesla maintain this 250 area? That is really the level that I'm watching. It's right in here. It's that 250 here, maintained it here, right? Some rejections in that area here. And then yesterday, we saw another little bounce off that 250. So that's the level I'm watching. I don't have high hopes for it. I'm assuming I'm going to see, possibly some losses on this trade. I'm going to want to see it hold this level. If it does not, then I'll probably just reassess, take my loss, right? If this thing breaks down again and we start to move lower, then I'll probably take my loss under that 250 area. That, in my opinion, is a must-hold level today. If that does not hold, then you are going to likely trade back to the major retest, the major previous channel high, which is right here. It is right here at that 247, right? That's really the major channel low, previous channel high, all in this area here, and channel low that's been holding on. So if we do trade back to that level, right, that would be an interesting level to watch for a demand bounce, right? This is what happened previously, and this is possibly what you could see again back at that 247. That is also the 20 SMA, right? That is also the daily 20 SMA, which is right at 247 right now, right? So that's possibly the level that Tesla needs to trade back into before getting any upside, right? That is possibly the level that Tesla needs to trade back into, back at this 247, back at these previous highs, and back at that 20 SMA. That is definitely something I'm keeping an eye out for. For now, I'm watching this demand low at 250, and then obviously that 247 that we just talked about. To the upside, right, if you do get any upside today, be careful of the rejections, right? If you get upside today, I would be careful chasing it into that 258, 260. Those could be very clean retest rejections to be aware of, right? That could be a retest of this high. That could be a retest of this high. If we retest those highs and start to reject, that could be where you look for that short entry, maybe back in the 252. And if you get a good one, right, back in the 247. So I'd watch that retest. If you do get that bounce on Tesla, I would look to see if this level turns back into a rejection right there. All right. So 258, 260, 250, 250, 247. I'm going to go to the... I'm going to go to the daily chart real quick and just share with you guys something. The larger term look, right, that daily chart look that we've sort of been eyeing, it is still valid here, right? It is valid, and I would go watch my video from yesterday. It is valid as long as you're above that 247. That is the must hold for this to remain valid. Even if we pull back here, this is still a maintain, right, above that channel that we broke out of. So that's like sort of the last line of defense for this larger term idea to remain valid in my eyes, right? For me to continue to look for this continuation, it has to be above that, because that is, if you look at this daily chart, that is the 20 SMA, that is where that channel broke out of, and that is those previous highs right there. So that is like the the big one. That's the big level, in my opinion, that must hold for this to remain valid on the larger term time frame. Right there. Right? That 247 level. You break back under that, right? You're going to probably start to reject this trend again, and that could sort of crush this whole idea. So that's what I'm watching there. Nvidia, nice little trend to the upside on Nvidia yesterday, continuing to hold this sort of uptrending move. It's a little bit sloppy, I will say, right? The move to the upside has been just a little bit sloppy with a lot of wicks and a lot of sort of fake outs. Today, I'm going to sort of watch this 496. Watching that 496, that 494 area, some of the levels that have previously held, you can see right here, 494, 494, sort of chop around that 494. 496, right, is that level that sort of held yesterday. But yeah, it's pretty messy here. I'm not going to lie. This Nvidia, sort of move higher has been low volume, really no continuation. It's been sort of grinding in this channel, but I don't love it. The 490 level is obviously still something to pay attention to below. That 490 demand that sort of broke and held above. And then obviously the big supply is up here at the 500. That 500, anywhere as we approached 499, 500 gets real heavy, right? You can see yesterday we got heavy around that area. We had a big rejection back here on Wednesday of last week. So be careful on Nvidia as you start to get close to that 500. It looks like it starts to get very heavy up here. So be careful longing if you start to see a move into this zone. That is a little bit of a danger zone up there for longs. I would want to get a solid hold back over 500 before trying to be aggressively long into 500, right? I think I'd rather wait for it to break and hold above than I would try to trade it into that supply, because this is definitely some potential rejection action up at this 499, 500 area. Yeah, that's pretty much it on Nvidia. If you do start to see a trend break here and like a retest rejection of 496, that could be, right? This could be a break of 4-hour trend, or 30-minute trend. So you could see we have this trend since last Wednesday, since the lows. You sort of had this, upside move, upside trend, right? Sort of this move like this. If you start to break this and maybe start to turn some of these lows into rejections, this could be that sort of flip on Nvidia to be paying attention to. So I would have this little channel drawn out, and I would pay attention to this 496 and this sort of this channel low. If you start to see this break, then it could be a little bit of downside pressure. Yes, this is choppy for Nvidia. Yes, this is. This is not normal Nvidia action. That's Nvidia yesterday. That's not normal Nvidia action. Trust me, I watch Nvidia every day. This is Nvidia Wednesday. That is choppy. This is Nvidia Tuesday. If you didn't catch the straight up move, it was nothing. All right. So Nvidia, it's been all right, but it's been sort of lifeless. You've sort of told that, or you've sort of seen that on the intraday moves, right? These are pretty lifeless moves on the intraday. This is Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right? And you can see, look at the intraday moves for the most part, pretty lifeless. Usually Nvidia has some, very clean action. And so it just has to do with the volume, right? The volume in the market has been relatively slow. You've seen this sort of just grind here. And so I would not count this out, right? You could sort of see this setting up. If this goes into 500, I would not count, right? I would not count that little rejection out. That is definitely a valid watch if the market does get weak, of course. Okay? AMD, this one ain't getting weak. This one was a beast. Yesterday, we talked about the 146 pullback, and man, right, that was the one, right? That was the one of the day. That was the trade of the day right there. That 146 pullback. We talked about that one on the live stream yesterday. Unfortunately, it was just not the one I went for, right? Unfortunately, there's going to be days where you like a trade, you end up trading something else. The trade that you liked was the one that you should have taken. The one that you did take ends up making you lose, right? It's going to happen. That is not something that is avoidable in trading. You cannot avoid that. That will be something you experience, something you go through. something you have to learn to deal with as a trader, right? There's no way around picking the wrong name, picking the wrong stock to trade. It's 100% going to be around as long as if you don't give up, right, you will experience it. The only way you don't experience that is that you give up. So yesterday was an example of that. I was eyeing this AMD. You guys know that. We were yelling about it on the live stream yesterday. I didn't take it. I missed it. So unfortunate, but that was a beauty. A 146 pullback early morning back into that consolidation low, and just an absolute, oh, there it goes again. An absolute rip. Just an absolute rip and a beautiful trade. So well done to anyone that caught that. Well done to anyone that caught that 146. Beautiful trade there. Today, what are you watching? I think you're watching this 148.70, right? I think that's probably your spot to watch. If you pull back to this area, I'd watch for that, right? It could happen again. It could happen again. AMD's been a beast. So watch for that pullback. I'd also keep eyes on 150, right? Just be aware of 150. There could be a little bit of drama at the 150. So keep that on your charts. That's that supply high. That's also a very important psych level, right? 150 psych level, very important. So I would look for the pullback to that 148.70, this little low. I'd look for that pullback. If you break below that low, right? Now, this is important as well. If you break below this low and you start to reject this low, there is not much support here, right? Because that move was straight up. So if you start to see these rejections stepping in, right, this could be a short side entry, right? This could be a short side entry. So be aware of this level to both sides today, okay? Either that break and hold below, right? Rejection of this little low, right? Or the hold of this level on a pullback. Oops. The hold of this level on a pullback, does it create a long opportunity? Okay? That's what I would be watching. Microsoft, we got to keep eyes on this chart. We got to keep eyes on this chart. We do not want to forget about this one, guys. This daily chart on Microsoft is still very interesting, and so is the weekly chart, right? I can't get over this little weekly chart setup that I'm eyeing this thing every day pretty much. I'm going to delete these for now and just sort of give you that larger look without any markings on the chart. That is the weekly chart on Microsoft, right? You can see previous high and look at these weekly holds at this level. I mean, I would not be surprised to see this setup over the next few weeks, right? A hold above this high, very nice hold that's been going on over the last 4 weeks. So I am absolutely paying attention to this Microsoft. Do we get that move? We shall see. But this weekly chart is very interesting on a hold over that previous all-time high. Something to pay attention to. I would not lose track of this one. It's been a little bit difficult to actually get the move, but it does seem like it's trying every day. It's holding up a little bit higher, right? It's trying to get that breakout every day, making higher lows on this ride higher. Let me go ahead and push this supply back there. But you can see, right? It's been continuing to sort of make these higher lows here. You have a low there. You now have these lows around this 374 area and this 20 SMA, 373 area, 20 SMA, right up in there, right? You're starting to get this. You're starting to get this little higher low action stepping in. You see this, right? This is sort of what you're looking at. You have the lows. You have the lows, right? And you have the lows. You see that? That's a stair step. I know it's a little sloppy when you look at the candles, but this is technically, right, a stair stepping move to the upside. I think potentially building here. So what do you really need? You need something solid over 376. Again, I've said this pretty much every day, but that is really what you need because you have still yet to see that. You have still yet to see a solid hold over 376. Again, yesterday, look at this rejection. And again, yesterday, look at how Microsoft was unable to break above that level. So you still need it, right? I would be watching it, but you do still need that break over 376. Here's the 4-hour chart. You still need that break over 376. Next level above would be up at that 380, right? 376, 380 are your next two levels to be paying attention to. So we'll see, man. It's something I'm hawking. I'm hawking it. I'm keeping an eye on it. All right, let's go to coin, because this thing is just hot. It just really is. It's just a hot stock right now. And what did coin do? Right, this was picture perfect. It was picture perfect. And again, the dip buying opportunities showed up. And this is, again, why I'm not going to stray away from what I did yesterday. The ideas that I have about dip buys, I think, are still very valid, because you can still see some of those dip buys stepping in. Here's another one, right? Here's a beautiful dip buy from yesterday on Coinbase. Previous high, and look at that beauty. I know we talked about this one on the live stream. We talked about how there was a pullback in the pre-market on Coinbase, how it was pushing right into demand, and man, congratulations to you guys that caught this one. This was a beautiful trade right off that 178. Previous highs into demand. Perfect retest hold of demand. Awesome trade. Now, today, and also I will say, the reason why, and I wouldn't be, if you didn't catch coin yesterday, let's just sort of review the short-term action on coin. If you did not catch coin yesterday, I wouldn't blame you, because I personally don't blame myself. And if you did catch it, well done. It was pretty much the second the market opened, right? It was the second the market opened that we saw that demand hold step in and just sort of rip. So if you were there the first few minutes and you went for it, I don't blame you, right? Because you just have your stop under that 178 level. And if it does sort of flip on you, so be it. You take your loss under 178. But if you were a little patient yesterday and you didn't catch that demand hold, I wouldn't blame you. It's a very quick, that was a pretty much instant reaction off 178. So it's going to happen at times, right? You get that too quick of a move that just sort of turns you off, and that's sort of what happened to me. Now, if Coinbase would have did something like this, sort of stalled here, pulled back, sort of did something along these lines, right? That's where I could take my entry and then get that sort of upside continuation. But Coinbase pretty much ripped, right? Pulled back, but this was not a pullback that I was interested in buying. I really wanted it back here. So just ended up missing that one, but a beautiful hold on Coinbase. Today, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, right? What are we watching here? We're watching this, right? We're watching 188. Does 188 turn into demand? If it does, the whole thing begins again. It's the repeat. It's the same thing over and over again. Previous highs, new lows. So let's look for it. Does Coinbase hold over 188 today? Is there a pullback entry off 188? If so, beautiful potential long off that level. Look for that break and hold above 188. If you start to reject 188, right, be careful of this, because this is for now, supply that has rejected multiple times. Okay? So 188 is your level on coin today. Let's go to Apple. So Apple, I sold my Apple position yesterday for about a 15% gain. So it was a decent trade there. But you are starting to see some rejections on Apple that I want to point out here that you should be careful of if you are long Apple. Apple is starting to see some rejections at these previous levels around this 194.60. This is also the 20 SMA, okay? So just be aware of that on Apple. Apple could reject here, right? It's very possible. This is the 20 SMA right there, 20 SMA, and this is also some previous lows right around that 194.60, all right? So keep an eye on that 194.60 on Apple. Be aware of that 20 SMA right here, right there, right? And if you see rejections there, right, that could be something to pay attention to today, all right? Amazon, I got nothing for you. Amazon has decided to go into hibernation. This is Amazon, I mean, just disgusting. So, yeah, not Amazon, not looking at that one. Google, it's been all right. It's been all right. Yesterday, you got the nice little rejection of that 142. So that was pretty clean yesterday morning. You can see right here, you're holding that 141 demand. So pretty much, I would assume that Apple or Google is going to do this today. All right, that would be my assumption. I would say 142, 142, 141. I would say watch that channel low demand, channel high supply. Keep an eye on that area, 142, 141. Go to Meta. So Meta failed to hold this 359, it looks like, this morning. So you are probably going to come back to this 357 today. All right, that's where I would be looking. If Meta comes back to this 357 right here, that would be the area that I would look to see what it does. So watch 357 on Meta today. That is a previous high right here, previous high right here, previous lows right here, right? And if Meta comes back down to that 357, that could be the area to watch right in there, okay? Keep an eye on that 357 pullback on Meta today. If you break under 357, this is going lower. This is going down to 355. So 357, major level to watch on this pullback you're seeing. What else do I want to look at? Is there anything else? Netflix. Yeah, we could take a look at Netflix. Netflix is just sort of maintaining, consolidation for now, but yeah, sort of maintaining. You can see right there, Netflix maintaining below 494 and above that 485. So you can see supply 494 for now. You can see demand right in this 485, 483 area, right? And it's pretty much just stuck between it. I would want to wait for something outside, right? Me personally. I don't like to trade. First of all, I don't love trading Netflix. But trading Netflix in between this channel is just So yeah. Yeah, Anders, I'm gonna post that. On the last day of 2023, man. I got it all lined up. So 494, 485, right? That's really the zone to be watching, the levels to be watching on Netflix. You can see it's just been sort of stuck between. So let's go to the futures real quick before we head out, and I'll go over maybe some top watches for you today. Here's the NASDAQ. You guys can see right here. It's just holding above that demand again. So that is clearly our demand to watch. QQQ, you can see is sort of holding above. We can sort of put this level here. 411. That 411. Keep that on your charts. 411 trying to hold. ES trying to hold that demand low. We'll see what happens there. You can see it's sort of battling in this zone right now. That's the previous day lows. And then SPY, you can see right here. Previous day lows. So it's all about those previous day lows, guys. It's all about the previous day lows, the Wednesday's lows on the NASDAQ futures. That's really the zone I'd be watching, right? This would be the zone I'd be watching today to see how this sort of reacts. Again, make sure you understand price action's probably going to be pretty light today. Volume's probably going to be light. It's the last trading day of the year. I can't imagine that fund managers, large traders are balls to the wall today. So please be aware of that. You're probably trading with algorithms most of the day. So if you don't like anything early morning, take the day off. That would be my opinion. I'm just going to probably monitor this Tesla trade for a little bit, see what I need to do to sort of manage it, right? Of course, I just want to see, do I need to exit? Can I hold, right? Is it holding my levels? If it is not, I'll ditch on that trade. I'll start fresh next year. For anyone that's interested in, I want to add that to, I forgot to add that to, we'll do that maybe the first stream of 2024. If anyone is interested in signing up for TradeZella, I was able to get a discount code for you guys, and a link. Let me just go ahead and pop that in the, I'll go ahead and pop that in the chat for you guys. Just if you're interested, I think it's about 10% off. And if you want to start next year with TradeZella, There you go. Go ahead and use that link and then use code DESI. Hold on. I'm actually going to delete that so that I can. How the hell do I pin that? Hold on. Why won't it let me pin it? Use code DESI. So just copy and paste that link if you guys are interested. It will not let me pin my message. Interesting. Okay. I guess, yeah. Damn. Thanks, YouTube. All right, guys. I hope you have a fantastic new year. Let me take a second and say thank you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being here, waking up, watching the streams, preparing. I hope that you found value from it this year in 2023. We have another year ahead of us. Better things ahead. As always, every year, a little bit better. Every day, 1% better. That's what it's all about. You know, I'm like you guys, right? Maybe I have a little bit more experience than you do, but every day that I come into this market, I'm learning myself, right? And that's how I think. I want to make sure you know that as well, right? I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Some people don't like to admit it, right? Online, they don't like to admit that they're going to lose trades, but I don't care to do that because it's honest. So every day, working towards it, right? Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of some of you, but that doesn't mean that you can't be the same situation I'm in. So keep going, right? Keep learning, keep educating. That's the most important. I think the most important thing, guys, is just don't blow your shit up. To be honest, that's the honest truth. Don't blow it up. Just keep learning, right? Eventually it will happen. But if you lose everything and you just stop, I mean, how do you expect to learn? You can't learn if you blow your shit up. So that's really at the core thing of it, right? How do you learn? It's repetition, it's practice, it's being here, it's this, it's that. How do you stay around? Don't lose all your money. And so just focus on learning, man. Don't focus on trying to be rich overnight. I think that's a really big mindset shift that some people need to have in trading. I think it's portrayed as like a get rich quick, and it's not. If you really want to take it seriously, it's a great skill to learn, right? It's a great skill to learn. I can do this for the rest of my life. You can too, but you're not going to get there if you have a really nasty, greedy mindset. So hopefully 2024, you can change that mindset if you've been struggling. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again. Happy New Year. And I will see you guys in 2024. Yeah. Hit the ad. Smash them with an ad. There's the ad. Smash them again with the ad. One more ad. One more. Bam. Third one. All right. Have a fantastic day. Fantastic New Year. Be safe out there. And I will see you guys in 2024. Peace.